never thought we'd be coming in here and be talking about a win again, right? After the way that we shot foul shots, the way we settled in the first half, and and the energy that we saw some of our guys. So thank goodness in the second half we were able to attack a little bit more. We didn't make foul shots, but we found a way to win. So really, Minnesota, as I said, when you have a guard at this level right now with the shot clock and with how quickly they can call a foul, if you had a guard like Nate Mason and then Washington was like it, you could stay in any game, especially if the other team's not making foul shots. And so that's exactly what they did. They were able to get away from us, I think another 10-point lead with maybe 12 to go. And we just made enough shots to get there and had it put away, and did not play well in those last few minutes. We missed both foul shots, and then just completely blew a switch that we just talked about. But there's some guys that are still learning, and we got to continue. That's my job, to help them to get better in those situations.
Max?
Coach, what was the decision in the second half to switch to that zone?
That was Luke Yaklich all the way. That we felt when you get a guy like Mason and Washington, they were 15 for 22 at that time, and I think one of them was a 3 maybe. I'm not sure, but they have what we need to continue to go and recruit is guys who can make tough twos, and they were making tough twos, but they were making them. And so we said, well, the only way that we can possibly stop this is change what we're doing. So we work on it every other day in case we get in this situation, and I'm glad listened to Luke and we did that, because I think it was a factor in us winning.
Zach, to your right.
I think there was a point where you guys were missing free throws, you were down 10 and everything, and then there was a long timeout. I guess, what did you see? Was your team frustrated? Was anything said? I guess, how would you describe what they were like at that time?
It is, I can't tell you how much I love these guys, because they're all great kids. But getting them to recognize what's happening in the game is difficult sometimes. And so they go back to their bad habits. So I think we just tried to get them to calm down, right? And it was going to be the old cliche, 2 at a time. Muhammad make a huge 3 from the left corner. But we weren't, Jordan Poole was open. The pool was closed tonight, I guess. He was out there trying to get done what he could do. He missed an open one. Charles was dreadful from the foul line. We're not even in that situation. We drive, we foul, miss both. Teskey foul, miss both, right? And then I missed the 1-and-1. Charles fouled again, missed. So it would have been there. So I basically said it's about foul shooting right now. We can't do anything about that. Let's just keep playing defense.
Right over here with Chris.
Are there some times where you're having trouble with the post entry, where you have some mismatches down there that you can take advantage of?
Yeah, it's harder when they switch like that, and it's really difficult when they have a smaller guard or smaller big man that you can't drive him as much as the other. But to get that pass in there with everybody helping, that's difficult, more difficult to think than you do. It's not the NBA where they're not zoning up, and so it's something we work at, and we just got to get better at it.
What was your view of the Duncan play in the corner at the end?
I have no idea what happened on that play. There's a cylinder that when you're pivoting, that can't be in your cylinder. If he walked it, I'm sure it must have been blatant for the official. If it was not a walk, then that's really a bad call. But I'll let the officials. Let's talk to them collectively as a group. The officials had a tough game, and I thought they did a great job.
Andrew?
Coach, it's not the first time you've come in after a game and expressed some surprise, I guess, that you came out on the right side. I guess, what about this team?
I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to figure that out because I think we have talent in different areas. But for this coaching staff to try to bring it together is a challenge. We got a couple of years ago we had a team like this that was very slow in some aspects of the game that are elementary to the game, not some crazy play I put in. And like that switch out on Mason is just like it's stunning that we wouldn't do that, and they just came back out. But it's going to happen, and we got to continue to grow. I said those are things you would never forget in a loss, but we're going to make sure we never forget it in a win because that's how we're going to grow.
And then the foul shooting. I mean, in game, are you saying?
Yeah, here's we changed the volume. We changed what we did. We usually have a really high pressure, but 25 foul shots per day, and they make. Here's the deal. You make one. You get a point, you miss it, you -3. So if you're around zero. Any of you guys in the B school over here, right? If you're around zero, you probably got about 70%, right? So everybody's plus 10, plus 20, plus 10. Either our managers can't count, right? Because I'm not paying attention, but their numbers are good. But we didn't think that was good enough. So we took a couple of our guys the other day, a couple of guys that are struggling at times, and one of those guys shot 90 for 100, the other was 75 for 100. So it's not mechanical right now. They got to go up there with some confidence. We got to get them right, and that's my job.
But in game, do you say anything or crack a joke or something to like try to?
No, I didn't do it today. I usually tell them to think about their mother, right? That she's usually a wonderful, kind woman that would relax them a little bit. I didn't do that today. I'll have to do it more, right? Think about the ones you love.
Larry?
On the same topic, do you ever think about trying like sports psychologists or any of that kind of thing? With
Well,
mental
we do it. We have a positive outcome meditation they do. Yeah, we probably have that. I didn't think we were going to have to resort to that, but we're ready for anything right now. A hypnotist, I'm going to find out anything we can do right now, because I think my Lemoyne team, and we had a bunch of big guys in 1983 or 84, it was the same thing. So it's been a good 30-some years since then we've had this issue. So especially, I don't take it for granted going forward, because we were so good at it last year. If you look at our numbers, so good. Yes, Casey.
Wanted to ask you about, now you said Nate Mason and Jordan Murphy were going to be two, but Isaiah Washington had 26 points. What was it?
He shot 28% from two, I think, or 29% from two. He's got a lot. If you Google him up, he's a little bit of a media sensation with his little Nick Stauskas, Jordan Poole type of moves that he has. And he can really score. He just hasn't in college yet. But if he's at Minnesota 3 more years, he's going to be a problem for everybody, because he is just like Nate Mason. But we shut down Murphy a little bit. He only got 1 offensive rebound. That was huge. But Washington is good. He can get his own shot. And so can Nate. They can both get their own shot. And that was tough to guard today.
What's the biggest takeaway that you can take away from this one?
That we found a way to win, and that we got to have appreciation. We got to win so we can move forward with Northwestern and play better. We had another bad start, and it's consistent right now with some of these, with the guys, and it's just, we're having some trouble just picking up some things early in the game. And I'm trying to simplify, but there's some challenges out there you don't know about that I just got to continue to push through and rep it out until we can get better. And it's not an attitude, it's just people just trying to get to that next level of as you understand the game and you're playing people the second time and the scouting reports are out, what you're going to do. Yes, Chris?
You talk about forcing people into tough twos, and you did that a
Yeah.
lot. How much of it tonight was your defense, and other parts just tip your cap to those guys for making
Yeah, the defense won it again. There's no question about it. But their guards were really having a heyday on our guards. But once again, there were some tough shots that only those 2 kids in this league can get. And I think I've sat here before, whether it was the Webster kid from Nebraska last year, this kid, Nate Mason, right? I showed them highlights of last year where we were winning in the Big Ten tournament. We're up by 8, and they're fouling us, and he's just getting bucket after bucket after bucket because he is so skilled. So we're very fortunate to get the win, because those 2 have a bad day and we make some foul shots. If they shoot 40%, which is normal for 2-pointers, right? That they shoot like a guard, and we make 65. We're talking a different game. So we're very fortunate to get the win. That's the big takeaway.
We've got time for a couple more. We'll go with Max and then James.
Mohammed said that he feels like the free throw problem is mental. Is that tougher for a locker room when the problem is maybe something?
And it's really isolated on the 2 guys. Teskey is a good foul shooter, right? And Mohammed, we would be 17-4 if Eli Brooks doesn't go to the foul line with no time on UCLA. Mohammed, it's just isolated with those 2, and we're just going to keep working through with them, because I love them. They work their tails off. They deserve to make those, and it's if you hear frustration from me, it's because I can't find the answer yet, and and I don't recall having it except 30 years ago. So I'm trying to figure out what we can do to fix that, because guess what? If you're winning games, you're going to get fouled late in the game, and we got to find. I just didn't think Mohammed would go in that mix today, and it happened. It probably won't happen again to him.
James?
John, with the way the second half ended, what does it say about the team's mental fortitude?
Yeah, when the way that ended like that, I didn't feel good in that timeout. First of all, I was not a happy coach. right? And with both my team and with the way that worked out at the end, where they got that extra possession. So we got back focused. I like my team right there. They kept telling me, Coach, we got this, and got me back to coaching. And then right away, X right to the rim, right? We were helped by they didn't make all their foul shots either, but X right to the rim, and all of a sudden, okay, we're in this. And he and Muhammad did a great job there in overtime.
It seems like Muhammad is rushing these late game moments in the Maryland game.
Yeah, he's never been dialed up like this. You know, Muhammad, Mo, they've never been dialed up like this. Charles, never been dialed up. And so they got it's on them to perform. And they're embracing it, but we're learning from it as well. And I'm trying to learn what they can do and how I can put them in the best position to be successful. Because every play plays us different. If they were hedging the screen, if they were down in the screen, all kinds of. We expected that today. And we'll expect to see 40 minutes of Northwestern zone on Tuesday. And we'll hopefully have some answers there.